Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I am your ever-loving host, Shorty, and I'm sneaking in a cheeky little review today, just for the sheer hell of it, because a title like Witchblood just grabbed my attention. That and the cover, because look, vampires. And I like vampire stuff. I don't mind admitting it. Kind of grew up watching all kind of manner of weird things like that. So the Anne Rice books, they're not that good. It's okay, you're fine. Go and watch the movies. I actually thoroughly enjoy the movies. They're cheesy as all hell, but great fun. And I played role-playing games with vampires, read comic books of vampires, and What We Do in the Shadows is one of my all-time favorite movies. So throw something like this at me and go, yeah, cool, check it out. Vaguely disappointed that it took an awful long time to get to the vampire fun and game. Not that it's a bad thing. Like, I'm disappointed because of what my expectations were, but it's nice that the disappointment turned very quickly into thoroughly full-on excitement because it's a brilliantly written comic book. The plot is simple in its own way, but with enough depth there that I think it's going to spread out. Effectively, you have a world of witches, witch hunters, and vampires, at least. And the vampires have got hold of a spell which will take them to the birth or the death place of the first ever witch. A witch hunter was trying to stop this, and a witch randomly turned up and got involved. The witch that randomly turned up and got involved is there. And this happens in a small Texas town, which apparently is one of the most near one of the most radioactive deserts in America. Fun. And pretty much everyone in that town has now been murdered. Just for, let's just get that out of the way. It's a vampire story. They are not pulling punches. This is not romantic vampires. This is, we need to kill people to survive vampires. Think more 30 Days of Night than Interview the Vampire. And I love it. I do. It's fantastic. I mean, that plot on its own, I say it's simple, but it's got like enough threads to it. We need to know like how the vampire hunter, the witch hunter, found out what was going on, why the witch hunter was going after the vampires. How she knew the thrall was there, what the thrall was getting out of it, what the vampires hope to accomplish if they can't actually read the spell. Were they expecting a witch to be there? What they can do now that was a witch there? All of this stuff is brilliant because it's everything it needs to be without going over the top, but just enough to keep me wanting to go back to it. But then you get to actual writing of it, and that is even better, if anything. There is just some absolutely wonderful, over-the-top dialogue. And not in an over-the-top, like, hammy or anything. Think more a brutal action movie kind of stuff. A few years ago, I was reading a comic book which had a similar kind of Hong Kong action vibe to it. And that was spectacular. Really, really good fun. It's been a while since I've had that kind of excitement just based on dialogue. There's bits which I really kind of wish I could read out from it because some of the writing is just a little bit too adult. But it also just has stuff like, hark, witch! Just, yeah. It's totally okay with what it is. It isn't trying to play it off as any kind of ironic or post-ironic kind of thing. It is just engaging fully with the kind of over-the-top nature of the story and allowing the characters the voice that they would have in that situation, including a very creepy vampire. Howdy, howdy, sailor. Dressed brilliantly, by the way. I mean, that's the fella. That's like the main antagonist. Who has a name which he doesn't like people calling him and dresses like that. I mean, just on its own, there's two little bits of story there are enough to make a story just based on the way the character looks and the way he talks. That's already just built up more than you could get from just exposition. And then I'm going to try and cover this little word up here. But I think you can probably guess what the word is under there if you're a grown-up. But my name is Yoni, you snaggletooth something. But there's something about that level of just kind of easy writing as well. It comes across as perfectly natural. And I've often said my dialogue favorite kind of, the way I prefer my dialogue to run is where it feels more natural. And yes, this has moments of hark, witch, which feels like totally over the top and almost B-movie-esque. But then just the conversational stuff and the insults thrown around and the way people do just engage on a normal level is brilliant. And I don't think those two vastly different styles clash in any negative way. I think they kind of highlight the world they've created. It is a world of normality with this supernatural vein running through it. And when you're allowed to just have those moments, and at one point, there's just an excellent bit of monologuing from Yana the Witch, where she's threatening somebody. It's just spectacular. She even gets on a table in a diner and really gets into it. But then it ends with, "Oh, please," because she's clearly just a bit hungry. It's amazing. Thoroughly enjoyable on several occasions. When reading it, I actually stopped, put down for a second, went, "Oh my god, I absolutely love this." Really, really glad I picked this one up. If you're lucky enough to grab hold of a copy, I would recommend it. Just don't expect to take itself that seriously. If you want serious vampire stuff, go and read Vampire the Masquerade, also by Vault Comics. This one is a very different beast, but just as fun if you like that kind of thing. Anyway, that's it from me. Because of odd delivery schedules next week, next reviews might be a little bit sporadic, but subscribe to the channel. That way you should get a little notification if I actually do anything. But I really can't promise anything at the moment. It's been an odd week and we've got Easter coming up. But we'll be open soon as a store, and I really can't wait. Until then, though, everyone, stay safe, look after yourself. Bye.